Yeah, 2 o'clock in the Southland. Hello, everyone. Charlie Fox is here. Yeah, you doing okay today? I certainly hope so. Today I couldn't feel any better if I were a Laker. You know, something on a Thursday. What it does to you. Come on, weekend. You guys today, no trouble with that. 93 KHJ, strange looking afternoon, isn't it? It should make for some very creative weather words. If you've got one, now is the time to call me at 520-1980 or from the Valley, 781-9686. KHJ, Funky Town. That used to be known as the nitty-gritty city back in the 60s. Now, of course, it's Funky Town. Charlie Fox in Hollywood at 2:10. Good afternoon.
KHJ, making the summer of the 80s.
KHJ salutes the next world champs of basketball, the Lakers. Naturally, they left LAX about an hour ago on their way to Philadelphia for the game Friday night. And the big news, of course, is that Kareem will not play Friday. But that's all right. That's all right. We go. KHJ, I'd like to win. Christopher Cross, that should wind up as one of the biggest hits of 1980 without a doubt. 2:20, this is Charlie Fox. We'll do another 20-minute music jam in a minute or so. And Ms. Ronstadt will be back.
If they've really got what it takes, it's going to take everything they've got. Fame. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. Original soundtrack available on RSO Records and Tape.
Thank you. Opens tomorrow exclusively at the Cinerama Dome.
Roustabouts feel so good. You'll forget you have them on.
Put yourself in their shoes at the Broadway. KHJ, hello.
Hi.
Who is this?
Kathy Lamar,
Where are you calling from, Kathy?
Thousand Oaks.
And what's your weather word today?
The sky is singing Sunshine Galore to KHJ, the station of the 80s.
Now, right, you said sunshine, huh?
Yeah.
And it's sun shining where?
Thousand Oaks.
I wish I were in Thousand Oaks. It looks like the end of the world down here in Hollywood. I'll tell you what, we're going to send you Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album for helping us out with a weather word. Thanks for calling. Fair tomorrow with a high of 72. Currently in Hollywood is 66.
93 KHJ.
Hey, here's the okay from Washington on our latest ham operator application. The call letters are W6XR-L4.
These two-way radio rigs are getting to be quite a popular hobby.
Yeah. I just hope this man realizes that being able to communicate with people all over the world carries a serious responsibility.
What's the name on this one?
Herman Munster, Mockingbird Heights.
Oh, I'm sure he's a solid citizen with both feet on the ground.
One bright and shining light that taught me wrong from right, I found in my mother's eyes. That's funny. The man in Australia cut me off in the middle of my mother's eyes.
Oh, Herman, will you knock it off with that thing? Look, if you want to communicate with people around the world, here, use my crystal ball. You put over $400 into that thing, and you can't even get the roller derby on it.
Yes, Herman, come on to bed. You've talked to 6 countries, and nobody wants to hear my mother's eyes.
I'll come to bed later. Lily, I've always wanted a ham radio set. And now that I've got one, I'm going to listen in on distress signals and notify the authorities and prevent disasters and noble things like that.
Thanks to Ward Dixon, W6WWD, for that clip. Brilliant. Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. Welcome to Ham Radio Live. Ham Radio Live on Sunday, February 7th, Super Bowl Sunday in the U.S. Are you going to watch? Should be interesting. It should be a fun show to watch. You know, we'll see. Hey guys, want to ask you please hit subscribe because that's how people find the channel here on YouTube. I don't monetize. You're not going to see any ads here about things you don't want, so please subscribe. It'll help people who have an interest in ham radio to find the channel. I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming. Hello there, everybody. Get you a better camera angle. Zip, tang, boom. Hello and good day to you. Wherever you are in the world, good evening to folks in Europe. Good afternoon to the folks in the U.S. and good morning to our friends in Australia, Japan, and Asia. My name is Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. And on Sundays, we do a show here that's just talk. We just talk about ham radio and we revolve around a topic. We're going to be doing a second show today. I want to let you know that because people are very interested in this radio. So we're going to do a great little review for you on the Yaesu FTDX 10. Also, if you'd like to know some information about this, I know that there's a lot of places that are sold out. I think Gigaparts is sold out until mid-February. Trying to get your better camera angle. Sorry. I know Gigaparts sold out until mid-February, and I believe DX Engineering as well. Yeah. So both of them are, let me move this away. There's a problem. I was going, why is there a shadow? So DX Engineering is out till mid-February. Gigaparts is out till late February. MTC doesn't have them, but Ham Radio Outlet just received a shipment of 20, okay? 20 Yaesu FTDX 10s. So if you want one, it's the hottest and hardest new ham radio to get right now in the world. It's the Yaesu FTDX 10. You can order it from Ham Radio Outlet. Again, they just received an order throughout their store chain of 20 FTDX 10s. Good afternoon, everybody from the Pacific Northwest. It's nice to see you. Today's topic question, going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this one. I really am. I get excited when we get ones that I think are going to be special. This one, if you could take your ham radio to make contacts anywhere in the world, where would you go? Where would you take your gear? Remember, now we had Raleigh yesterday. ZL1 Bravo Quebec Delta on from New Zealand, and he talked about his DX-peditions. He's done over 30 of them. He's been all around the Pacific for the most part, and he talked about the challenges of making calls. You know, he uses coconut trees. Remember, he talked about stringing it, having a local boy go and climb up the tree, string the wires, right? Where would you go? Would you go in a tropical location like Raleigh? My goodness, thank you for the thumbs up. That's very thoughtful. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I really do. Also, want to tell you, I appreciate your subscribing too. The subscribing numbers have astounded me. I've been blessed so much by that, and that's because of you. I want to honor all of you today by thanking you personally for that. Also, thank you for your kind emails. I can't believe the amount of emails I've received over yesterday's show with Raleigh because it was, I guess, very impactful for people. Thank you for that. I was able to pass one of them along to Raleigh, and he was very grateful for that. So thank you very much, wherever you may be, all right? I love getting your emails and your notes and your comments. It's nice to see you. All right, Sunday is the most popular show that we do of the week. We're on every day, typically right around 1900 UTC. We try and do it every day the best we can. On Sundays, it's your show. You guys steer the ship. We're not going to turn the radio on and use it. We're not going to do test questions. It's about you. So if you could bring your radio, take it with you anywhere, where would you go? Let's take a look and see about your answers. Andy Cowley says, not cost a little too much. And that's okay. Some radios are expensive. I mean, this one is. And it will come down. You know, Andy, good point. It will come down. This radio, I'm kind of blessed because of what I do in terms of getting prices on radios, but this radio is going to come down in value, okay? The day after Christmas and the day after that, Gigaparts had this radio for $15.25, okay? So that gives you an idea of where the prices are going on the FTDX 10. I think you're going to really enjoy the review that I have coming up later today on this radio. It's different than most people have done, and there's going to be a series, okay? We're going to do a series with the 10, comparing it with the 101, and comparing it with the 7300, and showing you remoting it from where my chair is. I want to be able to show you why I did it the way I did it. Welcome. Good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. Let's take a look at your answers. A lot of people here. My goodness. Lee Rosselli, please remove that plastic from this screen. Make it appear like you own the radio or not borrowing it. LOL. Lee, you buy your radio and do it your way, okay? Funny. I will. I'm just playing with you. Ward Dixon, look at this. I can't pronounce it probably. Is it Jeju Island in South Korea? Wow. I got to find that. Let's find on a map. We'll see if we can find maps on this, okay? We'll see if we can pull the maps on this. So it's Jeju Island, because that's what I was thinking of doing for the show, was to try and show you where these are in the world so you can get an idea of where people are talking about. Because, you know, it's one of those things that, because I don't know where you're going to go, I have to type it out. So let me see if I can find you a picture and put it up here on the screen so you can get a good idea of it, okay? I'd like to do that. That'd be fun. You guys can then understand and take part in it. And Ward has picked, it's called Jeju-do. So Jeju-do Island. It encompasses the South Korean island of Jeju in the Korean Strait. It's known for its beach resorts and volcanic landscapes, craters, and cave-like lava tubes. Interesting. All right. Well, let's take a look at this, Ward. I'd like to see it because I think this is pretty cool. Let's see if we can pop this thing up. And I don't think it's coming up on the screen the way I want it to, but we'll see if this is it. I don't think so. But that's a really interesting thing. I'm going to try and pop this up because, again, I don't think this is the picture of what you're talking about. Wow. It's a nice island, though. Man, it looks beautiful. It really does. I mean, it's one of those places that it's just south of South Korea. All right. Let's see if we can get your picture. There you go. All right. So Jeju Island would be south of Korea. It's just basically a little bit south. And it looks like a lot of ferries go there as well. That's kind of neat, right? You can take a ferry boat there if you want to. And it is a fairly large island. Looks like it's got a nice national park right in the center of it, shaped kind of like a rectangle in a way. And I'm trying to get you a good picture here, but it's not rendering quite quickly enough for me. So I'm going to try and see if I can get you a little better photo of it. Beautiful rocky cliffs, nice waterfalls. Very nice, Ward. Good place. Why would you choose that? Is it because of the location? Pretty, remote, rare DX maybe? I mean, could you imagine calling from there? Like Raleigh was talking yesterday on FT8, right? He was talking about using FT8. It's funny. And he's talking about it and he's like, yeah, every time I worked from this place, it was crazy because, my thing is all red because everybody's talking to me. So I'm just going to do it this way. This is easier. Just do it this way for you guys because quite honestly, I can't get to come off the computer. So forgive me for that. We'll get her done. Anyway, happy Sunday to y'all. And where would you like to go? If you could be on a DXPedition, take it somewhere on the road, get yourself going and have a good time working some DX. That would be fun. I think it'd be really fun to be able to do that because, you're in a remote location probably, and people are going to be interested in working you because they've never worked that area before. Think about that. That's pretty cool. So you have an opportunity to do it and you have a great chance to make a ton of calls at the same time. Fun. That's fun stuff. Ward, thank you. And thanks for the Munster clips, too. That's great. All right. For Lee Rosselli. Lee, you're watching? Here we go. Done. And done. Hold on, buddy. I never pulled it off of the 101D MP. I mean, never did. Never did. And you know why? I'll tell you why that was. I didn't do it because I wasn't used to getting stuff that was really expensive. So I always wanted to keep it like new. That was why I never pulled it off. In fact, the guy I sold it to said, thank you for not pulling that screen protector off. I'm buying one for it, but it still looks brand new and it's real easy now to put the screen protector on. That was the byproduct. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. Jeju Island, South Korea. Here it is. Here is Jeju Island. If you're looking at this, here's where Ward's talking about. Now, if you were to go north and a little bit east of here, you'd be on the Korean Peninsula, okay? So in the center is a volcanic national park. You could work from up there. I mean, it's kind of like going, if you were going to be like, say, for example, I'm trying to think here, in Hawaii, for example, okay? If you're on Maui and they have Haleakala, right? A high mountain, about 10,000 feet, go halfway up, run some antenna, and see what you could do from that elevation. That'd be cool. Nice pick. Jeju Island, never thought we'd see that. That's really cool. Very cool. South Korea. Very good. Fred Durant, good morning and welcome to you from Washington State. Always a pleasure. Fred, thanks for being here. Thank you. Kevin, look at, you're back. What a joy. Kevin's here. He's Mike Zero, Mike Charlie Lima. Kevin, it's an honor. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much, Kev. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Sean Hartley from east of the Cascade Mountains here in Oregon, just to the north of Redmond, Oregon. He says, any active parks on the air park? He's easy going, man. He'll just go any POTA. He'll just go to one. That's great. Okay, so Sean, I'm going to pin you down. All right, I'm going to pin you down. Where is that park? Think about it, okay? Think about that now, that national park or that state park you'd love to hang out at and work at. Think about it. Take a look at that for me, Sean. Get back to us on that. Fred, thank you. It is. It's a very nice radio. It's so similar to the 991A. It really is. It's very similar to the 991A, in my opinion. So, Ward says, if Korea's Hawaii, been there, very nice. Right. Okay. Yeah. Korea. And yeah, never been there. Stu Foster said, 3Y/B, I think it's the second most wanted DXCC country. Peaceful, too. Wow. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Let's take a look at what Stu said. I like what that is. That's nice because you think about it, and I like the way he's going with it because what he's essentially saying is I'd like to go somewhere really rare because it's hard for people to get that call, right? So if it's hard to get that call, can you imagine how lit up your radio is going to be? Your radio is going to be lit up like a Christmas tree of people calling you. You literally could probably work 24 hours straight and not stop the pileup. Just change frequency bands. That's great. Stu, I love it. That's great. Because really, if you're doing something like that, you truly are doing something special, because you're going someplace that's very, very rare. Indeed. All right. I like it. Kevin, M0MCL. I'd like to work Morse code on the summit of Ben Nevis in Scotland. Wow, wire antenna would work great, but coconut trees. Look, this is great, but coconut trees may be in short supply there. It's funny. It's true, but what a neat idea. Ben Nevis, okay, let's take a look. Ben Nevis, I'm going to take a look at that. We'll get you that on the screen. Ben Nevis is where Kev says, and I like that because, again, we'll find out different areas about people and what they'd like to accomplish because, we learn the world that way. And part of ham radio's charm is knowing where we're working, right? And knowing we made contact. That's pretty special. Let's take a look at that here. I'm going to put that up just because I want to be able to show it to everybody and, be able to let people know, because I think that being able to share everything visually is important here too. So you're going to have to bear with me. It's going to take a moment to be able to do this just because, and quite honestly, it's kind of tough, right? It's just kind of tough, but it's definitely kind of a neat thing because quite honestly, I'm not going to get you a very good picture of this, Kevin. I'm sorry, but I will be able to try and narrow it down a little bit. Okay. So Kev, if you'd help us out, what part of Scotland is Ben Nevis? Let us know. He's talking about being at the top. So near the top of Ben Nevis. Great. Good stuff. John, first time here. What a treat. Saskatchewan is in the house. Hi, John. Welcome to the show. Truly a pleasure. All right, here's Kevin right here. Ben Nevis, see it there? In the brown. So he's up high. Yep, from the summit of Ben Nevis. Now, I couldn't get it any farther out, Kev. That was the problem. I wanted to get it farther, but I just couldn't make the map go farther out. So Ben Nevis Island, I really like that. That's a neat pick, man. So why would you pick that? I need to ask you that. Why is that something you'd pick? Because, in all honesty, hang on a second. Hold on. Maybe I'll be able to get you. Hold on. Ooh, no, probably not. Well, maybe. Hold on. You know what? I probably get a little picture here. Let's do this, okay? This will work. I can make this work. It's going to look kind of silly, but for this show's sake, this is important to share this way because I want to honor everybody's pick here because I think this is really a fun show to do for you guys because we learned a little bit more about the world and knowing where things are. Because of that, the visual part's important, because when we look at maps and it's close up, right? We're like, darn it. It doesn't show us very much. It's just a small map. So I'm trying to get it out a little bigger. Okay, so this is where Kevin is talking about working in the UK. There's a good idea. Okay, so he's up not too far away from the Atlantic. Of course, Scotland, so everything's close to the Atlantic, but he's more on the western side. But he's up high. Yeah, working Morse code. Kevin, nice, very nice. Good pick. I like it. Stu says, I got a 9-year-old Yaesu FT2000 sitting here. The screen, plastic screen is still on the screen. That's cool, Stu. Yeah. If the 101 comes with the screen, I don't think it will. But if it does, in fact, there's no way it will because you just won't. But I'm going to buy a screen protector because it's just nice to have it. Fred Durant from Washington State, Skull Island. To be serious, any place sunny with a beach. I live in Washington State, maybe Midway Island. That's great. So it's any place sunny, but make it work. I love it. That's great. All right. So let's take a look here real quick, okay? Because I like this because, again, we're trying to show everybody's pick. And I think that's so important because, folks, we're here to have a good time. That's why we came, right? It's Super Bowl Sunday. Instead of watching the Super Bowl pregame, you're here. And I appreciate that. Thank you. So Skull Island, let's get that up for you guys so you can see it. Okay. Not there. You're playing with me. Okay. Put Midway up. Midway, by the way, for those that don't know, Midway is one of the farthest north islands of the Hawaiian island chain. So when you're talking about Midway, really you're talking about, a very, very important place in the Hawaiian Islands. In fact, I'm trying to get it, brought out a little bit so you can see. It literally, Midway is really midway in the Pacific. So, and you'd have plenty of beaches. You would. And you'd also have some World War II stuff there too, Fred, because there's a really good, it's not really a museum. It's more like a exhibit of one of the World War II aircraft that's there at Midway Island. Yeah. So great pick. I like Midway too. It'd be warm. It'd be sunny, be nice. Good pick. So any place in the world that you could do a DXPedition, take your ham radio, take your gear and go and work. Now we've had Jeju Island in South Korea. We've also had a beautiful park that was picked by Kevin. It's called Ben Nevis, which is located in Scotland. We've got Fred Durant, from Washington State. And literally, he picked Midway Island. So you can see now why it's called Midway, right? Literally right between, the United States, North American continent and Asia. It's like right in the middle. So I believe it's the most north island in the Hawaiian island chain. Goes way up, tons of coral reefs and atolls. And then there's Midway. So beautiful. Nice pick, man. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Nick. Really? Snake Island? Oh my gosh. Oh, for those that don't know, Snake Island's off South America. And it's famous for and I'm terrified of snakes. That's the worst thing in the world for me. So Snake Island, I believe it's off Brazil, but I need to make sure here, and I'll get a picture of it. because, yeah, why not? You know, we're here. So Snake Island is really, it's part of Brazil, and it is, it's a place that literally you're not supposed to go without a guide. You're just not, because there are so many venomous snakes that are there at Snake Island, filled with them. Good luck with that one. Wow. I got to zoom in more on South America for you, because literally it is just, yeah, it's not far from Sao Paulo. It's just off Sao Paulo in the Pacific. So see if I can get you a quick picture of Snake Island, because, you know, there you picked, right? That's the one you picked. Snake Island. I saw a show on it once, and it talked about Snake Island and all the venomous snakes that are there. And that, you know, you have to be so careful because they're literally everywhere on that island. So you can't, it's not recommended that you take a boat from Sao Paulo to Snake Island for an afternoon picnic. Put it that way. Just not a good idea. Nikolai in Romania. That's good. That's good. Now, Lee, check it out. Way to go, big boy. The very first thing I do when I get a new radio, even before turning it on, is I remove that doggone screen protector. Screen's going to be cleaned. He's right. Whiskey Alpha 8, Romeo November Bravo. There you go. All right, Snake Island. Let's take a look. This is Nikolai from Romania's pick. Again, sorry, these are kind of small, okay? But it gives you a good idea, okay? There's Sao Paulo, Brazil. And it's just to the south, well, southwest of it. Yeah. So just southwest of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Snake Island. And notice it says, secluded isle with endangered snakes. No way. Not in a, no, not in a million years. No way. Okay. Chris Tom, I probably said it wrong. I apologize. I really do. Chris said, hi there, just starting out. And thank you for coming, Chris. I mean that. Hi there, just starting out. Gonna dump 8K into this full thing, full bore. Wow. Got the manuals for technical and general, going for it in Charleston, West Virginia. How do I look? Well, if you're talking about now, are you talking about getting into ham radio, Chris? Is that what you're talking about? To get, you know, started, to get your license? Because it looks like you're studying for both the technician and the general license in the U.S. Let me know, okay? Because I can help you there, okay? And we'll get you started. That's great. Congratulations. That really is. That's very good. Thanks, Chris. Good luck. You'll make it. You will. Just study hard. You'll study hard. Thor, getting ready. Get some chips and dip ready for the big show. Ham Radio Live Show. Not this. Oh, man. That's so nice. Thank you. What a nice Thor. Thank you. Truly, I mean that. Wow. Let's see. There we go. Steve Whittingham from the UK. Now notice he says, hi, Larry, from very cold Plymouth, UK. Steve. You know, we got to get the Australians to bring us some summer back, right? We've had enough of this. In fact, coming up next week here, we're supposed to get weather. This is rare for us here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. If you're close to the ocean, right? It usually is just warm enough to be miserable, but not cold enough to be pretty with snow. That's it. Well, I guess there's like an Arctic front coming in from the Northwest Territories. And instead of going over, you know, the east side of the Rockies like it usually does, this time it's going to the west. And so we could be getting single digit temperatures or teens here. And my wife, it's great. She's from Northern California, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? No! Yeah, she just can't do it. So we'll see how that all goes. Maybe some snow. I'd love to see that. I love snow. Pretty cool. Saran says, okay, so my current 3 top parks on the air activations I want to do are Crater Lake National Park, it's in Oregon, John Day fossil beds also in Oregon, and Klamath National Wildlife Refuge in Oregon. The latter two have not been activated yet. That's pretty sweet. Let's take a look. I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at the John Day fossil beds, okay? We'll give folks a picture of what that looks like. And I think instead, John Day is the eastern part of the state of Oregon, okay? The northeastern part. That's where John Day is located, okay? Instead of doing, in this case, a photo of the map of where it is, you can find it. Just look at Oregon, north and eastern side. You'll find John Day. Okay, but let me go ahead and give you a picture of what it looks like there, because it's really special. Yeah, it's a very, very special place. So I want to be able to share this, but share it in a different way, because, you know, it hasn't been activated yet. So I think because of that, I think it'd be nice to be able to show what it actually looks like there. Okay, because it is beautiful. It really is. Take a look at this. I'll get you a picture, and it looks like a photo, like a painting, okay, but it's not a painting. It's the real deal. This is actually what it looks like, and I think because of that, you'll get a good idea of why Sean picked it, because it is truly special. John Day, that whole area of Northeast Oregon is very high desert, and some people think the state of Oregon, especially in the United States, they say, oh, it rains too much there. No. If you're in the western side of the Cascade Mountain Range, we get 40 inches, about the same as New York City. However, if you go east, they get less than 10 inches of rain per year. It's very dry. So here's the area that Sean's talking about going to. Look at how beautiful this is. This is stunning. That's John Day National Park, the fossil beds there. Isn't that beautiful? Can you imagine spending an afternoon there just working, right? Having an antenna up, your gear running on solar, and just enjoying that view. Beautiful pick. Well done, man. Sean, nice pick. I like it a lot. Really do. Hi, Tom from Bahrain. Good to see you. Tom says the Balkan Mountains of Bulgaria, deep in the forest. Very nice. So the Balkans. Let's take a look at that. I want to be able to do that. And what we'll do, I think, because the maps are kind of hard to show because the way they render on the screen, I'd rather show maybe what it looks like. Let's show what it looks like there instead. Okay, so what Tom is saying from Bahrain is the Balkans there in Bulgaria. Okay, so let's take a look and give you an idea of where he'd like to work, because, you know, we're here to have a good time, and I think we all really love maps, right? We're all into maps. Seems like everybody is in ham radio. So the Balkan Mountains. Oh my gosh, Tom. Wow. I gotta show you this picture. It's beautiful. So what Tom is saying is that, and Tom has been to places like this before. Tom has done that. So this is a place that he's familiar with, but, you know, he hasn't worked there yet. So you'll take a look at pictures. This picture is just beautiful. I mean, it's just stunning. So we'll get that to render up here in a second. So Tom, thank you for that. Thor. Gilligan's Island. Look at that. Yeah, so I could be stranded with a ham radio in Marianne. That would be paradise. That's great. Here's Tom. So I'm sorry. Yeah, here's Tom's pick. This is it. Isn't that beautiful? Here's the Balkans in Bulgaria. Is that pretty? Imagine working your radio from up there. Oh, the view. I would have a hard time with that, Tom, because I would get really lost in that view. I really would. It's such a beautiful place. Tom, thank you for sharing that. That's great. Great pick. So he'd be up in the Balkan Mountains. Not islands, sorry, Balkan Mountains. Yeah, there you go. Kevin, M0, MCL, after Scotland, maybe Table Mountain in South Africa to thaw out a bit. To thaw out a bit. He's exactly right. That's great. Let's get you a shot of that, because that's, you know what, I've never seen that. Now I want to. So let's take a quick look at that. So we're looking now for Kevin in the UK. He's talking about Table Mountain that's located in Africa. So we'll take a look at that here. And I think that, you know, what we're finding is a lot of these folks are picking areas that are pretty rare. Have you noticed that? places that you normally don't work. And there's a reason for that. And when I put this question together, I had a feeling you folks would do this because these are places that aren't usually found. You know, when you make calls or you hear the pileups, right? Brilliant idea. Really is. It really is. So I like what you're doing, and I'm grateful you're doing it. That's why I had the phone ready and everything hooked up because I'm trying to get you photos, because this is such a special show to do for you guys, and I enjoy it very, very much. So we'll give you Table Mountain so you can see it. This is probably the best picture I can give you of it, and it's just stunning, just stunning. It's in, just to get an idea, it's in South Africa. So this is going to be Kevin's place to thaw out. He's doing it the right way because right now he's literally in the UK where it's freezing. Literally, it's freezing. So, Kev, I get it. Yeah. What time today's second broadcast? Probably an hour afterwards. I have to reset some cameras. So, yeah, hang in there, buddy. Let's see. He's talking elevation, signal, and all that location. Chris, yeah, I guess I don't understand your question at this point. I don't know if you're studying for the technician in general, if that's what you're doing, or you're asking about equipment, or you're asking about elevation for antennas. If you could clarify that for me, that'd be great. We'll work that out. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Okay. John, welcome. I think this is the first time John's been here. So nice to see you. John said Signal Hill in Newfoundland, where the first transatlantic messages. That is true, by the way. Yeah. Let me finish this. It's where the first transatlantic messages were received. It's a historic site in Canada. Yes. When they laid the first transatlantic cable, it broke about 600 miles or so from Newfoundland. Newfoundland was the midway point. That's where they'd already strung the cable from, the United States. It went to Newfoundland, and they were coming from England, and the cable broke. And the guy that put everything together for that, he wouldn't quit. He kept trying, and boat captains were refusing him to do it because they knew about what he was doing and how hard it was, because they thought it was impossible. Well, this guy never gave up. And then what he did was he finally laid the cable from the UK to Newfoundland. Then he fished out the broken cable out of the ocean, spliced everything, and had a second line coming from the UK. That's how hard he worked to make that happen. So that's why Newfoundland is so important. That's a very good one. You know what, John? I like that very much. Let me show you what he's talking about. We're going to get Signal Hill up here. And bear with me because I'm kind of on the fly here as we do the show because, these are different places. And I think that because of that, I want to make sure that we get everyone, honored here because these are your choices. So I'd like to make sure that we get a chance to do that. So we all know where Newfoundland is. This is on the south portion of Newfoundland, just so you get an idea. Okay. So he's talking about Signal Hill in Newfoundland, and I'll get you a picture of it. It's kind of a far off picture, but it gives you an idea of where it is. Again, Newfoundland, this is the south part of Newfoundland. Okay. Great picture. I mean, this is really beautiful, by the way. I like the view. I would have a problem here too, John, if I worked from here because of the view. It would be just hard not to be looking at all the time because, it's just beautiful. You picked a beautiful place. You guys have all picked very special places. You really have. So we'll get that picture up for John and show you Table Rock in Newfoundland. And its historic significance to Canada is because Newfoundland is part of Canada. So when they laid that first transatlantic cable, that was the point where they had to connect it. That was really it. So great pick for you, John. Like it. Here it is. This is a good picture of it. Let me get you a big picture of Signal Hill. That's what it looks like. It's way up there on a hill in the south part of Newfoundland, okay? Way up there. And so he would be working, would you be working Morse code up there? Would you be doing voice, digital? What would you want to do on that location? Be interested to know because that is such a very special place. My gosh, why would you not want to do that? And I'm going to show you one more photo of this. This is a Alme stock photo, so bear with me. All credit goes to Alme. Alme, you may have the credit for this. It's a better picture of Signal Hill and give you an idea of its beauty, because that picture is not good resolution. So if you were working there, John, would you be doing Morse code, digital, phone, multiple? Would you do all three? I mean, can you imagine FT8 from up there? How lit up your FTA would be? Wow. You'd be going crazy. Again, credit to alme.com for this. Look at this. That's Signal Hill in Newfoundland. Again, this is on the south part of Newfoundland. So Kevin, that's where he'd be. He would be up there. Beautiful. Beautiful location. Sorry, Kevin. John. John would be there. Isn't that beautiful? What a gorgeous view. Man, John, I would have a hard time. That's so beautiful up there, man. Nice pick. Nice pick. Will Myers is here. Kilo Alpha 8, Golf India. Michael, Michelle, good to see you. Thanks for being here, my friend. Yeah. Nikolai says, imagine if North Korean authorities will allow you to transmit from Pyongyang or, someplace, for example, your radio would probably catch, look, this is great. Your radio would probably catch on fire. Oh my God.
Oh, don't anybody move. Hold it right there.
Oh man.
The fuse is out.
Yeah, more than that, your radio would be out. That's funny. Yeah. John would be doing voice and he'd be doing Morse code. So good. John, great location. High up too. Good. Let's see. Take a look at what Chris is saying here. Okay. All right. So he was saying is where I am good for certain types of ham, elevation, location wise, etc. He's in good. Is he in a good area as far as gear? Going to get either a 7300 or a 101D or a 9700 for shack and the 7100 mobile. 7100 is great shack in the box. Yeah. For mobile, great pick. Great pick there, Chris. And then on the rigs, whichever one really you enjoy. They're all great radios. For elevation, you can have an antenna at sea level, okay? But the point is it has to be high. That's the main point. Whether it's a vertical or a dipole, okay? So a vertical antenna is simply a stick that goes up that's got a wire in, that goes alongside it, and then it has ground radials that go out in the ground from it, okay? It transmits equal directions, 360 degrees, okay? The key is getting it high enough, okay? Minimum 30 feet. You want to be hopefully 40, 50, 60 feet with it. That would be great if you can get that high. Same thing with a dipole, okay? A dipole, all a dipole is really a couple of wires, or it's one wire if it's an end fed. But the point is, Chris, if you can get it up high enough, you could be at wherever you live right now, as long as you've got a backyard, okay? A good example, and I'm going to use it because I have one and it works for me. The MFJ 1908 HD extendable adjustable mast with compression clamps would be brilliant because it will go up to 50 feet. Just make sure you use guy wires in a couple of places. I would do it in 2 if you're going 50 feet up, because your neighbors are going to see that thing going up and they're going to freak. So just make sure, and if you live in the country where there's not a whole lot of folks, yeah, no problem. Just make sure you guy it though. Against the wind, keeps it safe in case of a storm. So guy it 120 degrees apart, and then up higher, about 3/4 up. Do it again, okay? You can go in the same place with those guy wires. How I do it is I go 120 degrees in the first 3. So 120, I'm going here, then I'm going here, then I'm going here. So I've got a triangle, right? On the second set of guy wires, I make another triangle that's literally just off. It's right center between the first set of stakes, okay? So now I'm really 360 degrees protected against the wind. So if you guy it in 2 places like that, you will be protected. but you have to get it up high. If you get it up 40 or 50 feet or higher, that antenna will work brilliantly for you. You don't need to be like on a mountain or something to work. It's a great question. That's an excellent question, Chris. Yep, good. Donald Bush, Signal Hill, QRP, CW. Yeah, that'd be fun. Would you do it like on a 705, an ICOM 705? You know, that'd be good. So Signal Hill would be fun to work from if you're in Newfoundland and you're working QRP. My gosh, what a great idea. Tom adds from Bahrain, Yaesu announced, here it is. They're stopping production of the 5000 and the 3000 due to lack of parts availability. And that's that. It is. Okay. We're going to stop the show right there. Tom, first of all, thank you for sharing that. Okay. Folks, here's a 5000. This radio was the one that my heart was involved with. I loved this radio from the start. And the reason why, and people say, way too many buttons, way too many knobs. Well, that's why I bought it, because I want to control things. I don't want to go through a bunch of menus to do it. Okay. That means that this radio here, let me get the camera to move over to it. I'll turn it on so we can get a good view of it. I guess I think what I did was, I think probably I put my, I just unplugged my power strip. We'll get you a picture of it. Okay. So this is the 5000 by Yaesu. So this is now discontinued. You see my new power supply? not yet up. Not yet up. We'll move that. Sorry, guys. Okay. So 5000 production stopped. Remember we talked about this a few weeks ago? We did, because building superhets is really expensive. It is. It's very expensive because you have, you know, crystal oscillators are involved with these things and all that. So, you know, and the internal components that go with it to build one. Not many people are building superhets anymore. Remember, ICOM has stopped. Elecraft has stopped. Yaesu has moved, you know, moving over to SDRs. So this radio here, the Yaesu FTDX 5000, get it while you can. That's what that means. So, you know, while ham radio stores have, you know, the inventory, get one while you can, really. And my favorite, it's funny because I love the 5000. God, and I love that 3000. I really do. And believe me, folks, I know because I bought it. Okay, I get it. Okay, it's just like what, $30 less. That's why we were talking, I think before, their pricing made no sense, because the 5000 is close to the 101 MP. It's like $400 difference. The 3000 versus the FTDX 10. Here's a picture of the cord. Trying to do things on the fly here. Sorry, guys. So between that and the FTDX 10 is like $20 or $30 between the FTDX 10 and the 3000. Okay. So Yaesu was forced into a decision. Coronavirus limits parts and factories to build these components. They really don't have probably a huge demand for those radios right now, because the 101 and the FTDX 10s are flying off the shelves. And here's the important point that I really need to share with you. It's much cheaper to build an SDR radio than a superhet. It's much cheaper because computer components is really what you have. Okay. Now, I understand there is a crystal oscillator in the 101 and in the FTDX 10. I get that. Okay. I really do. Okay. But we're only talking about just the crystal oscillator. We're not talking about the rest of the components to build the superhet. So what Tom said is huge breaking news. Huge. Okay. 5,000. I'm going to put this back up on the screen. 5,000 and 3,000. End of production. Gone. My suggestion, if you like the 5,000 and you want the 3-year warranty, buy it. But boy, I'll tell you what, I know I just bought the 10 and I bought it because of the size. You know, if the size of the 3000 was a little smaller like this, I would have bought the 3000 again. It would have been my fourth. No joke. fourth. I bought 2 of them used, 2 of them new. But my point is, it's because it was a great radio. It's a great transceiver. But the 3000 is a great transceiver. So buy it while you can, because they're not going to be around any longer. That's the, is that, no, that, yeah, they've got the 991A, and they've got what, the 450 and some, so they've got, no, the 450's gone. So they've just got a couple superhets left. Watch out now. Watch out now on the 991A, because the 991A, while it's a shack in the box, that may be the only thing that saves that radio, is it's a shack in the box, because they already dropped the 450D. Tom, thanks for sharing that. That's huge news. Huge news. Yeah. Chris, how far from trees need it be? Can I hide it in the trees? You absolutely can. Yes, trees are your best friend. My goodness, yeah. Run the wire into the tree. Yeah, you could do that. In fact, what a lot of folks do, Chris, is they'll take, say, a center-fed dipole, okay, which really is some feed line that comes down your feed line. Typically, it's called window line. So it's got 2 wires coming down with plastic connecting them. So glad you're here today, Chris. This is great. So it comes down straight, and then you have just little basic wire that comes off the sides, okay? That's a dipole. That's a center-fed dipole. A lot of people will stretch one into one tree, one into the radiator, which is one of the wires that's at the top. Then they'll take the other one, string that into a tree, doing the same thing, right? And they'll just come down, and then they'll feed it that way, okay? They'll take poles and do it. Center pole for the window line that comes down, 2 more poles beside it, and then place it in a lazy V, which we call an inverted V, okay? You could do it that way. So maybe you've got a 50-foot mast here, and because it's a little high, maybe you want to go 40 or 45 feet with that. And then on the end, you've got a couple of poles here that are maybe 25, 30 feet. And it just makes a little bit of an inverted V. It'll work brilliantly for you, okay? If you want to do it in trees, that's a great way to do it. It'll work. Perfect. Just get it high. Make sure it's high. If you can go 40 feet or better, Chris, you're going to be thrilled with what it does, because any of the radios you mentioned are great radios to begin with, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a good antenna, okay? Make sure as well you get really good feed line, okay? That's so important, Chris. Go with something that's comparable to like an LMR 400 product, okay? It's a pretty thick, and it's a very, I guess unflexible is a good word, coaxial cable, but it's really well built, and it will help you because it doesn't have a whole lot of loss in it, okay? You don't lose a whole lot of your signal in that coax. So spend the extra money up front and buy the good coaxial cable, because you're going to change antennas, you're going to probably change radios, but you won't change that feed line. You won't. So spend your big money there. It'll make all the difference in the world, man. And trees, they're your best friend. Toby, hi everybody. I would try to set up something out on the Mount Everest or in Chernobyl. Oh no, maybe the ground zero from Castle Bravo. My gosh, Toby. Something, look at this, something extreme and excited.
Some bitch. Don't you cuss on this here radio.
Yeah, just
I apologize to all the friendly folk who are listening.
Wow. Toby. Chernobyl. No. Oh my gosh. It's funny. Toby, you've just shown me your sense of humor. And you know what I think is the best part? Is I really like it.
Let's roll.
I do. It's great. That's great. Thank you, buddy. Okay. So let's get a picture of Toby, because we'll let him, Mount Everest, by the way, for those that, that may not know. Okay. Mount Everest is located, obviously, it's in Asia. It's in Nepal. Okay. It's China, but it's Nepal. Okay. It's a huge mountain range and the highest point in the world. So Mount Everest. My goodness, Toby, you're funny. Chernobyl. What the heck? Oh, it's great. It is. It's funny. Okay, so here's where Toby, okay, so you know you need oxygen, right? So you got to carry a radio up there, solar panels, charge controller, battery, and the rig, plus an antenna of some sort. You got to have an antenna. So, okay, and oxygen, and an oxygen, what do they call those? Sorry, tank, oxygen tank, because you got to have air. You're at 28,000 feet. So what are you going to work, man? And think about this, Toby. Hold on. Okay. You got to turn the buttons and make the radio work, okay? And whatever you're doing, if you're doing Morse code, you imagine doing Morse code from the top of Mount Everest, freezing your rear end off, trying to do the Morse code. Your hands are shaking. No, I can't imagine that, but I could see it. I have a visual right now, honestly, of Toby in that hat right there up on top of Mount Everest. And he's trying to work his FT8, and you're trying to work when his computer's frozen and he's frozen. He's like, what the heck am I doing up here? Look at this. It's a beautiful view, but my gosh, how am I going to make this work? Toby, you're funny. That's brilliant. That's a beautiful view, isn't it? Mount Everest. Wow. Yep. Yeah, if you could find a way to put the solar panels up and, a place that's, horizontal enough to work from. Wow. You imagine people calling you, the pilot for there? Yep, I'm in Nepal. Really? Where at? At top of Mount Everest. Wow. Congratulations. Goodness. Donald Bush, Whiskey Alpha 2, Papa Union / QRP. Love it. I use telescoping masks and put up vertically polarized antennas. Vertically polarized delta loop. The sloping wires of the delta loop is the guys. Yeah, a great way to do it. That's a great way to do it, Donald, because, I did the same thing with my inverted V dipole. Truly, it held up the mast. It did on top of my roof. The mast is 24 feet and my roof is 24 feet. So I'm 48 feet high, but I didn't need any guy wires really for that mast because the two wires coming down from the center really held it in place. Now, don't get me wrong. I still guide it, but quite honestly, when I got it all put together, I'm like, man, these wires are holding it all by itself. So yeah, I could see where that would work. Absolutely. Donald, thank you for coming to the show, by the way. It's great to have you here. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, great to have you. Glenn is here from the UK. Welcome, UK, from VK, from Australia. Glenn, good morning. Good morning. All right, let's take a look. Glenn picks Ayers Rock. I like to take a look at that so we can get an idea of where that is and people can get a good idea about it because that's pretty cool. I think that's something that we can all learn from. Also known as Uluru. Uluru. It is a massive sandstone monolith in the heart of the Northern Territory of Australia's arid red center. The nearest large town is Alice Springs, 450 kilometers away. Uluru is sacred to Indigenous Australians and is thought to have started forming about 550 million years ago. Wow. It's a national park there. And so if you imagine, and again, the map part's not going to show very well, but I want to show this because this is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Seriously, it is absolutely stunning. So I want to show you this. Glenn, again, you're brilliant. I mean, you come up with stuff, and I love it when you come. I always am happy to see you, Glenn. You know that. Very, very happy. Glenn, thank you. I want to share this with everybody so they get an idea of what Glenn's talking about. Again, this is in the Northern Territory of Australia. And literally, you're talking 450 kilometers away from help, from a town, right? That's Alice Springs. Wow. So this is a beautiful place. It's also known to Indigenous Australians as Uluru, okay? But this is Ayers Rock in the Northern Territory of Australia. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's where Glenn would go. Man, It's just, and there's nothing. There's no elevation. I looked around at this photo, various aerial shots of this. There's no elevation anywhere near this. It's literally in the middle of a valley. It's just this gigantic monolith that comes up. Nice pick, Glenn. Thank you for sharing. And again, welcome from Australia. It's good to see you. Nikolai, I'm wondering if someone ever tried transmitting from the North or South Pole. Is there ever even a call sign for that part of the world? No, there wouldn't be a call sign. And the reason why is because nobody owns Antarctica. And technically the North Pole's in the middle of, Arctic ice. So nobody owns that area either. Great question. That's a really good question. As for someone transmitting from there, anybody know? I don't know that one. That's something I don't know. Yeah. And Donald, I strictly use my beloved KX3. I think the KX3 is one of the best radios to use if you're going to go, on a DXPedition. Obviously, I mean, just handheld, literally. It just fits in your hand. You control everything, but you don't lose anything because it's powerful. It really is. Now, it does connect to a larger box, but still, it's brilliant. KX3, great transceiver. Donald, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Glenn Rock. I'm sorry, Ayers Rock, Glenn. Gotcha. Yeah. See, and Fred, for Chris, this is good. Good stuff for Chris. I'm at sea level, have an off-center fed. So when you see OCF, Chris, it means off-center fed dipole antenna. Couldn't say, I was going to say diaper. Sorry. Dipole antenna inverted at 40 feet. It's resonant on 20 and 40 meters, easily tuned at 10 and 80 meters. He's made contacts from South America, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and Italy. That's Fred. He's done it. Good job, Fred. Well done. Well done. So there you go, Chris. Yeah, I love dipoles. I do. My favorite antenna, Chris, is a wire antenna. I just love them because they're versatile. And the other thing is, if you buy one or make one, typically use like 14 gauge wire, you can run full power through it. So if you buy like a commercially grade one, say a G5RV, which is a great antenna, it is. It's a compromised antenna, but it's not awful. It's a great antenna, especially when you get it up high. Gunter from our channel in Germany has made contacts everywhere with one of those. Okay, so G5RV. My personal preference on that, though, is called the ZS6BKW. That's Z Sierra 6 Bravo Kilo Whiskey. It was designed by a South African ham, and it was essentially computer modeled from the G5RV. So this ham, ZS6BKW, computer modeled the G5RV and said, how can I make it better, especially on 20 and 40 meters? And he did. What ended up happening is the radiators are 93 feet instead of 102 feet. And the feed line coming down, the window line, is longer. That's where it's longer than the G5RV. But great antenna. I won't sell mine. I love it. It's a great antenna. Again, ZS6BKW. Tom, glad he has 3000. Tom, you got me thinking, man. I'm serious. You got me thinking about buying one because it's that good. Seriously, let me show you something. I know it's been a while and I'm getting pretty sore, but I want to show you this. And we got a second show, and I promise we will do a show on the FTDX 10. Folks are interested in that from coast to coast, and I want to get that done for you. But let me get this photo, try and show you if I can here. There you go. Okay, so this is a picture that you don't see because it's in the corner away from the camera. There's the brochure, the FTDX 3000. Okay, I framed that because I try and get brochures for every transceiver that I have and frame them as mementos. That's kind of my memento that I've had that radio. It's the actual brochure for it. I can't stress enough to you right now, if you're in ham radio or you want to be in ham radio, but especially for people who are in ham radio, if you really want or have wanted a 3000, okay? I think Fred Durant's one of those folks. Well, Fred, maybe it's not Fred Durant. Could be something. I know somebody close to here on the channel just bought a 3,000, sorry, just bought the 3,000. I think it's Norm bought, I think. That's a great radio for DX, you guys. Don't miss out on your chance to get it. Just don't, because you will not be dissatisfied. Don't let, what I'm trying to say is, okay, I know that, beauty and, nice screens help to sell radios. Okay. I know when you see a radio that kind of looks pretty, and I know this one doesn't now because it's zoomed way in and it looks terrible. I'm sorry for that. I get you a better picture. And radio. Okay. So I get it. Okay. But, you get the band scope and start working now. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's pretty to look at and it's great to work. This is a fantastic transceiver. One of the best I've ever used on a receiving end. No question about it. But that 3,000 is really good. It's really good. If they've stopped making both the 5 and the 3, you'll still have the chance to buy the 101 or the 10, but try it because you might just find the radio that you love. I mean that. That's real good. Robert Varner, I wish I had a tree to put an antenna up, and you and I both. Yeah, we don't have. I'm here in Oregon, which we're famous for. Robert, we in this state ship more Christmas trees than any other state in the United States. We're the highest Christmas tree producer. We also are well known for our forests here. Trees everywhere, but not on my property. Seriously. I know. So guys like Robert and I, we have to use adjustable masts. If we don't, then we can't get elevations for our antennas, or we have to use verticals, build them, or adjustable mast. Toby, the Arctic Science stations have a call sign, and most of the people there also. Okay, well, there you go. Arctic Science. Yep. So it depends on what country is involved there. Okay. So what I'm saying here, Toby, and thank you for adding that, by the way, I appreciate it. If you have, your country, say for example, Germany, right? And you're going up to the Arctic to work, right? Whoever has the research thing, there's some government that has to be in control of that, right? So the call sign will come out of that country. Great stuff. Toby, right on the mark. Well done, my friend. Good job. Glenn from VK from Australia, I've heard it said the FTDX 3000 is a baby FTDX 5000. That is correct. Absolutely correct. Yep. It's a great radio. Great radio. Chris Tome, that flexible LMR 400 have any longer term issues? Well, coax will always have long-term issues because the sun beats it to death. You have to also make sure that the ends are dry. You don't ever want to leave one outside and let water get into it because it will ruin the coax from what's called the dielectric, which is the white portion between the center conductor that points out, right? And the part where you screw in. There's a white insulator. If that gets wet, it can destroy the coaxial cable. You don't want to get them wet. But years and years of hot sun can destroy them. It's just the way it is. 10 years. If you get 10 years out of your coax, you're doing well. But 10 years is a long time to go through all 4 seasons, right? So think of it that way, Chris. And you're very welcome. Yeah, look at that. That's the best thing ever. And you rock it. That, bless your heart, man. Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's very kind. Steve is here from Liverpool. Good to see you, mate. Yep. Good to see you. It's an honor to see you, Steve. Thanks for coming. Today's topic, one more time before we close. If you could take your ham radio to make contacts anywhere in the world, where would you go? We've been all the way from the top of Mount Everest to Midway Island and to just south of the Korean Peninsula, essentially, literally Jeju Island. And we've been on Snake Island, just off of Brazil. Not that we'd ever want to go there, right? My goodness. Rosario, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, exactly. His oxygen bottle to get up there. Yep. Toby says he'd take his Baofeng with him, make a little Slim Jim antenna, maybe. I can use a local repeater from the top of Mount Everest. Are you kidding me? No. 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 Bergs is here from Sweden. Want to welcome you back. Thanks for being here, Bergs, as always. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, you'll need to, definitely be there. Fred, go clean that garage. Get her done. Thanks for coming, man. Good to see you. Chris, trying to decide whether to find that or a center fed with a nice tuner. I would build a resonant antenna. Just build a resonant. If you want a really good idea, I'll give you two. High gain antennas makes a fantastic antenna. It's the AV680. You'll have to tune it. Use an antenna analyzer to do it. Buy a Zoom 35. They're under $300. Hook up a little stub of coax to it. Tune each element of the AV680, and you're brilliant. Okay? That'll set you back about 560, but it's a really good antenna. It's 27 feet high. Or buy the DX Commander all band vertical. Okay? You could find that at DXCommander.uk. Okay? DXCommander.uk. Okay? That antenna will run you less than that, and you have to make it, right? But the size of the elements that you cut yourself, it's going to go all the way to full legal limit, and you won't need a tuner. You won't. Mine doesn't need a tuner at all because it's cut to the frequency. So remember, here in the US, Chris, if you simply multiply 234 by the frequency, okay, or sorry, divide, you'll get the length of wire you need. Okay. So if you're, for example, right, if you're going to work 40 meters and you want to be, say you want to work Europe, okay, Europe is 7.1 to 7.2 on phone, right? So in the US, because we're imperial, not metric, you take 234 divided by 7.150, and you're going to get 32.72 feet. Okay. So 234 divided by whatever frequency, okay, it's going to give you the length to which you cut your wire, okay? No tuner needed. It's going to be resonant enough for your radio to work all the way through 40 meters. It will. Just build a resonant antenna. That's my best advice to you always. Antenna tuners are great, don't get me wrong, and I do use it for areas on my antennas that are a little off, or that I'd like to maybe work a different band on, but they're too small, so I still use it anyway. I get less power out, but at least I can get a transmit signal out. That's a great reason to use an antenna tuner. Otherwise, just build resonant antennas. That's the best advice I can give you, buddy. All right, let me try and get, wow. Steve, Orkney Islands, I'd like to transmit from. Let's see, the Orkney Islands. Okay, so Steve is talking the Orkneys, and we'll take a quick look here at that because we want to make sure and get that done here. So Orkney Islands, that's in the northern part of Scotland. So right now, I bet it's a little cold there, right? You guys are freezing in the UK. They're in Great Britain. You're really cold. So let me give you an idea here. We'll hold the phone up this time because I'd rather show you the map in this case, right? The Orkney Islands. There they are. So north of Scotland. So that's where Steve would go. Steve would go up there. He'd be up top, north of Scotland, just a little away from Scandinavia. Good for you, man. Steve, I like the FT9000, Larry. You know what? There's one on QRZ right now. It's the 200 watt version. And it says something about rare blue LED display. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's not a bad radio, okay? It has the MU tuner units built in, which are optional for like the 3000. Sorry, let's start from scratch. The MU unit are in the 9000. That already has them. But it's optional if you have a 1200, a 3000, or a 5000, okay? Those tuners are expensive too. They're like $600 brand new. But I love the 5000. I do. I mean, I haven't used the 9000, to be fair. I haven't used the 9000, Steve. I haven't. But all I ever wanted was in the 5000, truly. And it's been around for so long. You got to remember the 5000 came out back in 2010. So model year wise, now it's 12 years old, not 11. So 12 years old. So yeah, it's expensive to build super heads. That's why you're seeing them go away. Donald Bush, simple beauty of the half square is that it's vertical with some gain, and 50 ohm coax matches the antenna, so there's no tuner needed. Easily mounted in a couple of trees. That's from Whiskey Alpha 2, Tango Papa Union, QRP. Don't forget that part. There you go. Here we go. Frank Vick, Admonson, Scott, South Pole Station includes Martin A. Pomerantz Observatory, designed for astrophysics. There you go. Try and go there. I like that. Now this is cool. I want to get this on the screen. I want to get this one. We've got to do this one because this one's really cool. Because some people are not going to know where this is. Okay. So let's just a second. Let me get it done because of the way it's done. Okay. The way that I see it on the screen here. Hold on a second. Hold on. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, obviously, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think I have it here. Okay. So he's talking down at the South Pole. And so I want to make sure that we get you this because this is really a neat location and it'll shock you. It'll shock you at how large it is. This is at the South Pole. Okay. So when you go there, right, you always think the South Pole, right, desolate, right, white, nothing, penguins. Okay. About it. Yeah, a lot of penguins around there. Other than that, you're freezing your rear end off unless it's summertime, and that's pretty cool. But literally pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So it's kind of a joint venture, but it's definitely very well done. It's definitely very well done. I'd like to show you what it looks like here. So we're going to get you a picture because I want to make sure that we also get a chance to honor Frank Vick and his comment here, which is the Amundsen Scott South Pole. Say that 5 times fast, right? Amundsen Scott South Pole Station. Okay. So when you work here, if you were to go here, you're not like out in a tent where it's all, windy and going crazy, right? Look at this. There it is. This is very modern, right? Look at that. So that's what it is. You'd be in there. Notice the antennas. They've got antennas. Man, Frank, that may be, I think, the place, the number one of the show. Yeah. I think that right there might be the comment of the show. Well done. Yeah, very good. I mean that. That's really good. Wow. Okay. So I think we're going to, Greg, yeah, right. North Korea, of course. Sure. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah, looking for DX Commander. It is a very good, I can't recommend that antenna better. It's so good, well built, and it's not hard to install. Okay, I got to tell you, I was blown away at the wire gauge as well as the quality of the materials. You will not be disappointed. Yeah, very, very good. Opinion on D-Star brain sucking operation continues. No, I mean, I don't know. D-Star is a digital mode just like Yaesu's, their fusion, their C4FM fusion, which you use wires X with, okay? A lot of people love wires X, and a lot of people have FTM 400 sitting in their shack monitoring 2 meters and, listening for people on them. So you can literally talk to people all over the world on wires X, but you're really going through the internet. D-Star is kind of the same. Yeah. IT guy. Wow. K6 Union, India. Thank you. Wow. I mean that. Thank you very much. What a nice comment. Really enjoy your show. Thank you. It's very thoughtful. Appreciate it. Steve's got a 33-foot dipole on each leg and Lucky 1.0 right across the band. Yep. Build them resonant. Just build them resonant. No antenna tuner needed. Best part of it all. Great Lakes Reliance, Michigan here. He's K8 IBX, and he's got a 20-foot antenna, and he's working the world with that. That's fantastic stuff. Good job. Yep. Good stuff. All right. Toby says, I have to say I was serious with the technology thing. I want to visit for years now. A friend of mine was there in 2018. I'm also a little bit in Urbex hobby. Cool. That's pretty cool, Tobe. I like that. It'd be interesting to go up to Mount Everest. It would. I don't know how high, physically I couldn't do it now, but, I think because there's so many steps it takes just to get there. You have to have guides, and you have to be able to climb, and you have to be able to have oxygen, and you're going to be bringing a ham radio and the antenna and a lot. Yeah. But man, to do it, that would be amazing, man. Could you imagine how awesome that would be? I mean, seriously, whether you worked Morse or you worked Mike or FT8, man, you'd be like the person to contact in the world. You would be. That would be a great place. Yep. Great Lakes Alliance, call out on 40 or 20 so you make contact. Buddy, don't do that on Sunday's show. This is just talk. We're just talking about the comment on the screen. It's our topic. And sometimes we go off track, and that's okay. Topic question today. If you could take your ham radio to make contacts anywhere in the world, where the heck would you go? There you go. Toby says, no, not Mount Everest. No. He's talking about Chernobyl in Ukraine. Okay. All right. There you go. Good. Have my antennas arrived? My parts have not yet arrived for the directional. However, the 160 vertical is here, and I'm going to be working on that once the weather gets a little nicer here. It's just not good. So there you go. Yeah, I know, Toby. And I know where, he's talking about Chernobyl, where the atomic disaster occurred. And honestly, Toby, not a safe place. Just not a safe place to go, man, because, we don't want to lose you. You don't want to have, some amount of radiation in that area affect your body in a way that years down the road, something bad happens to you. We wouldn't want that to happen. There's a reason that the Russian government has closed off that area, truly, because it is extremely dangerous. Very much so. It used to be an entire city. It's amazing. Yeah. IT guy, if I go anywhere in the world, Croatia. Wow, that's pretty cool. He said he could work all of Europe, etc., and enjoy the beach too. That's awesome. Have a day at the beach. Very nice. Very nice. All right, that's the last of the show. We'll show you a quick shot of that. And we'll just end with that. So most of us know, I think, where Croatia is, but hey, why not? I think it's important because I want to honor him as well. Because, this is important for us all to see, where everybody's dream is and why. And let me show you why. Because, some people think of Croatia, right? And they're like, okay, it's Italy. Get it, whatever. It's by Italy. Okay. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think we should be sharing this because right now, with it being wintertime in the Northern Hemisphere, we could all use a little bit of summer, even if it's like digital on your screen, right? Just a little picture of what summer looks like at the beach. Yeah. All right. And Great Lake Alliance said I would try the Island of Man. Very nice. In Europe. Good. Here we go. There's Croatia. Imagine that. CQ. Oh, wave coming in. Look at that. Beautiful. IT guy. Well picked. That's a beautiful picture. Yep. Beautiful picture. Beautiful. Man, we've been everywhere. We have. We've hit Asia. We've hit Europe. That was Europe finally. No, we've hit Europe twice. Okay. Europe, middle of the Pacific. Wow. We've been all over. North America. So South America, because Nikolai picked Snake Island of all places. Nikolai picked Snake Island. Yep, he did. It's like, I'll beat them snakes up. No problem. Let's get Isle of Man and we'll get out of here because we got to hurry and get going. Steve Austin, Larry, I've been thinking of getting the DX Commander and I heard you had one. Yes, I would absolutely recommend. It is 2 thumbs up. Yep, Steve. No hesitation. That's a great antenna. It's built so well. Callum put a lot of quality materials in that kit. Yes, highly recommend it. It is one of those things that you buy and you go, wow, that's pretty cool. Look at all, whoa, that's 14 gauge wire. Yeah, you don't usually see that in antenna products that are commercial. Usually you see like the real thin, tiny little 22 gauge, Yeah, his is like 14. It's beautiful. So it's something that I think if you bought it, and it's like Calvin says, it's cheap as chips. It is, yeah. But it's beautiful. It really is. It's a very nice antenna and not hard to do. You could do it easily in an afternoon. Easily. All right. So quickly, we're going to show this real quick, right? So in between Ireland and England, and just south of Scotland, you will find the Isle of Man. There it is. Isle of Man. And that one comes from Great Lakes Reliance. Nice place to work. That'd be a great location. You could work Europe. You could work maybe North America, possibly South America. You might make the hop down to Africa. Nice location. That's good. Folks, yep. And it's good. Steve, great antenna, quality materials. You will not be disappointed. Folks, that's it. We've been here a long time, and I'm feeling every moment of it. I'm going to do my very best to come back in about an hour, maybe 2, because I'm going to have to get my back straightened out. I've been sitting too long. We'll come back and we'll do a show fully showing, reviewing, going throughing the Yaesu FTDX 10 live. Okay? We will do the very best we can to answer all of your questions regarding this transceiver. Also remember, it is available in locations of ham radio outlet. Not elsewhere, but HRO just received 20 of them yesterday. So if you want to make your order, now's the time to do it. Contact Ham Radio Outlet tomorrow morning when they open. What I would do is I would call an East Coast location, because when you call Ham Radio Outlet, whatever you buy, they will ship from the closest location that has inventory to you. Okay? Please subscribe. We don't monetize. Notice you haven't seen any ads this whole time through. If you're watching on replay, not one single skip ad button. I do this to give back to people. That's the honest truth. And right now, my body's killing me from being here so long sitting. I just ask you please subscribe. Okay? It helps people like Chris that might have an interest in ham radio to find the channel and have their questions answered. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Want to share with you a very special sign-off, a painful one from New York City. We started with Los Angeles with a very iconic radio station, very iconic, KHJ. It became copied all throughout the United States in the 60s. That's where Boss Radio came from. It came from KHJ. So we started with KHJ Los Angeles. We're going to end with a very popular station, New York City, WPLJ. They just went by PLJ. That station finally went off the air and went to Christian Broadcast, where they were very, very famous throughout New York City. We're going to show their final sign-off here. But we have a little treat, courtesy of Ward Dixon, Whiskey 6, Whiskey Delta. Okay, we saw Herman Munster. We saw at the beginning of the show that he got himself a ham license. Now let's see what the heck happens to him. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Thank you so very much for watching today. Please subscribe. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon for the FTDX 10. Bye, everybody.
You gave me such a fright. I thought you were a man from Mars.
What are you talking about, Herman? What's going on down here? You've been sitting down here for hours.
Grandpa, what would you say if I told you that in 2 minutes, at the stroke of 4, I, Herman Munster, am going to be in communication with the planet Mars?
I'd say that if you keep talking this way, they'll take you away to the funny farm.
Now, it's 4 o'clock. You'll see. You'll see.
Boy, Roger. Whoa, more fun playing spaceman than ever. Now that your father bought you this Gen 1 synthetic plastic spaceship. Boy, I hope we can get that kid who we talked to yesterday on the walkie-talkie. We said we'd call him back at 4 o'clock. Calling W6XR L4. Come in, Earth. This is Mars.
I've got them. Are you
trying to tell me that's Mars?
It's not the weather report. Hello, Mars. This is W6XR-L4. Where are you?
We have just penetrated your substratosphere and made our first landing on Earth.
They're here. They've landed on Earth.
All right, Herman. Don't get so excited. It's only people from Mars. People from Mars.
Grandpa! Don't go away. I'll be right back. Grandpa. Will you wake up, you dummy? We're making history.
Hello. Come in, Earth. Come in, Earth. I guess something happened to our friend from Earth. Maybe the kid's parents made him go take a bath or something. Let's come back after supper. Maybe we can get him then. You really think he's a kid? He must be. He sounds so stupid.
Final sign off from WPLJ New York.
Paul and Oates live from the PLJ studios. That is probably the most recent recorded version of that song, and I know we had several options to choose from. Before we have a chance to toast, because you heard us open the champagne, and if you're someplace safe and of age, we hope you'll join us for the same. We would like to get the current full-time staff, as we have about 3 minutes left, just to take a moment and say goodbye, and we'll start with Joey Kramer.
Many years ago, Scott Shannon and Tom Cuddy gave this young kid at that time the opportunity of a lifetime. They handed me the keys to a Lamborghini, and they said, don't screw it up. And they trusted me with it, so I thank them. I thank all the DJs who helped me along the way and helped me grow. I thank you loyal listeners. You guys are unbelievable, the most loyal ever. To my family and friends who were always there for the emotional support, especially over the last 3.5 months, you guys rock. And to my ride or die, my incredible, beautiful wife, Tina, who never once ever said or complained, you got to work this weekend, you got to work this holiday. She is number one, the best. Babe, I love you.
Excellent. Thank you, Joey. Melanie Torres.
Of course, I'm the one who can't hold it together. This radio station has changed my life. I grew up in Florida. I never thought that I would be here. I think I was 30 when I came to New York City, and it was always my goal to be here. And I just want to thank Mike Allen for just believing in me and teaching me so much and being by my side throughout this whole ride. I've learned so much from you, and you've been so great. And Race, you're literally like who I want to be when I grow up. And everyone, the staff here, you guys have become my family. I moved here and I only knew my fiance. So you guys were my family, the people that I celebrated with, who I cried with, who I was frustrated with. So thank you guys for being here. It's unbelievable to see this many people in a room right now. And I want to thank my fiance for being my rock and getting me through this and being my shoulder to cry on. And yeah, I love you guys. All right, I'm done.
Mike Allen.
Mine's real quick. I said my piece. I made so many friends here. It's not even friends. You guys are all family here. Hopefully we all stay in touch for a very long time. And this has been the greatest part of my life, professionally and personally. So thank you all for being a part of that. And thank you to listeners. And thank you, Mr. Race Taylor.
Thank you. We're down to just under a minute. So before we go, my wife is by my side. Thank you to our families, our immediate families, our extended families, our New Jersey families, our work families, everybody in this room. You have lived up to the testament from just a few weeks ago. Smile because it happened, and you have been that exactly to a T. While we get set for a toast, one final phrase.
And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
If you would please raise your glasses. May the 48-year run of this radio station prove to be a testament to the power and the love of terrestrial radio. And may the mere thought of the letters PLJ bring a smile to your face, a warmth to your heart, and a tingle to your ears. Here's to those who have walked these halls and breathed life into these microphones. It is with peace, love, and joy that we toast the Whiteport lemon juice. Here's to PLJ. And for one final time, from high above Madison Square Garden, this is the world famous WPLJ, New York.